Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the video. Today we're going to talk about the SH Figuarts Kamen Espada Lamp de Alangina. You know, Aladdin and the lamp, you know. Anyway, it's from his Wonder Rod book and that's his main style. But if I'm being real, man, I have truly enjoyed the Saber line. I'm keeping it 100 with you. This is no different. I think the one true thing that truly does annoy me is going to be the hand guards not being included on each hand and no stickers. I think that's the most infuriating thing about all of it. But otherwise, I've had a spectacular time messing around with these figures. They're taller. They have a lot of articulation. The color on them is just super duper vibrant. And I love asymmetrical designs. So, man, I'm here for it. But yeah, let's talk about him. You know what? I don't even know where to begin. But let's take a nice look at him from the left and right profile. And as you can see, your boy's looking really cool. And I love how their helmets are literally their swords poking out, plus their style. So I'm here for it. I really am. These are dope. Unfortunately, he was a web shop. So I know tons of people can be pissed about having to buy him on the secondary market or doing middleman service. But I'm really hoping a lot of that stuff changes and a lot more normal releases. But being an American here, I realize we are not the main market, which sucks. So they really don't listen to us. But yeah. One thing I do want to note is that the cape is a soft plastic. It is not cloth. It looks really good though. And it is malleable. The problem is because it is gold, I'm worried about it flaking and breaking. That is the one thing that worries me. But as of right now, it pretty much holds pretty well when I'm doing stuff. It is slightly adjustable on a ball joint inside. So yeah, looks pretty good. Now for the rest of the movement and articulation, let me back up my zoom just a little bit. We have our head that can look up really nicely. We can actually look down. You can't look down going straight because it will duck into the front of his chest guard, but you can do it ever so slightly off to the sides. You can tilt left and right, which is spectacular. And as far as our arms go, we pull out the arm a little bit to extend. We have a rotating joint here. We can lift up and hit a T-joint, and we can also circle around. As you can see here, the shoulder pads are attached to the arms. Lots of room. Yeah, looking really good. And same for the other side, right? So we can actually lift it all the way up, and the lamp actually lifts up just fine for him to be able to hit a T-joint with no problem on either side. Still get that movement on this joint as well. The arm is designed same as this one. So the mistake that they made on Saber, where the guard on the arm come down a little too far, he does not have that worry. He is double jointed on both sides. There we go. So you can actually hit the Superman pose as well. And as far as our ab crunch, we can move backwards. We don't have no movement going forwards, but we still can tilt side to side. But with the movement of our bottom joint, we actually get a really nice forward crunch that helps eliminate that not getting it from the upper torso, right? So we actually get, if you look at it, right, I'm gonna show you 1 second. You can see here we're getting a lot of that replicated movement with no problem. Our belt, you can wiggle side to side. Depending on how you position it, your belt is gonna look a little lopsided, which is a little odd to me. I don't know why mine does that, but it does look a little lopsided sometimes. And I'm guessing it's because there's so much space. So it's leaning on something, as you can see here. And if we look at our Wonder Rod book, I've actually added stickers from SHF Upgrade on mine already. I decided that I'm just going to add them on. You can get them from Toku Collectibles, or you can buy them straight up from SHF Upgrade. I will put the link in the description. Should I forget, somebody please email me and let me know, and I'll add the link in, because I do forget sometimes. I'm a one-man motion machine. Our legs can go out only about this far until you use the drop-down method. Let's change our focus for a second. There we go. So without using the drop-down method, you can get about this far, but you can drop it down. You can get a little bit further with your movement. You have thigh swivel going in and out, and you can lift up to go straight across. You are double jointed as well, and you don't have as generous ankle pivot as I would like though, but it does get the job done. I really do wish it can go in further, but unfortunately it just can't. I will say be very careful using the drop down method. You want to make sure you drop it down completely so that none of that paint rubs. I haven't had any of those issues since Saber. He was the only one I had that issue with, but I just want to recommend that people be careful. As you can see, I popped it off by extending it too far, but that's not a problem because the ball joint allows for a lot of that freedom. I want to pop this hand off and use a sword hand, but I'm going to wait. Definitely going to wait. There we go. So if we talk about getting into fighting poses, let's try to get a nice one. That's Thunder style. Because if you are watching Demon Slayer, right, and you also like Saber, you will realize that these guys kind of reflect the Demon Slayer guys. So he would be technically your Zenitsu of the group, because that's kind of how he moves in certain moves and ways. Looking really good. By the way, on the belt, you can actually attach other Wonder Ride books, so that's pretty cool. But if I'm taking like one of his stances from the show, he looks pretty good. I like it. But then again, I like Kamen Rider, so that's just me. Real quick, we're going to take a second to jump into accessories, so let's get to it. Now, he does come with a nice amount of stuff that actually complements both Saber and Blades really well. So I'm going to stand him straight up, actually. That way, in case I shake the table, your man won't fall, because he was actually in a very balanced stance. So let's push these in. I want to leave him in a nice pose, right? There we go. This actually looks really good. First things first, I want to talk about his two blades. So we have the unsheathed version. This looks really nice. SH Upgrade also is doing a upgrade version of this blade as well too, to give it a little bit more silver instead of that gray look. I don't mind the gray, but I think the silver would definitely pop in photos. Then you have the sheath version, which is tiny. You can actually place it right inside the belt for doing any sort of storage and or prepping a super move, right? Or Hisatsu, the finisher, right? Next up, you'll also get 3 Wonder Ride books, the closed versions. They do not come with stickers on them, but I did attach stickers on mine via SHF Upgrade. I did it on his, so that way you can see how it looks. There we go. Let's actually zoom in. It's going to take a little bit of work because it's so tiny. There we go. And then we have 2 more. One for Saber and one for Blades. These how they look with no stickers attached to them. Very plain and generic, but having those upgrade stickers makes it pop. Next up, you will get sword holding hands of each kind. And like I said, I'm a little bit bummed that we still don't have hand guards to come on each one. Not sure why they chose this route. That's the only thing I really am not enjoying. We have our open relax hands. And we have our form hands. And I'm going to call them form hands because you basically use this for his style. Lamp de Alangina, usually 2 hands out to hold forward. They actually are curved a little bit. They hold it like this. So yeah, it's pretty nice. Now, without further ado, we are going to get ready to jump into the size comparisons. One of my favorite parts. So let's get to it. Hey guys, now we're going to jump into the size comparison. I figured the first thing I'd do is get him up next to some other Saber figures. So here he is next to Kamen Rider Saber. I should pull his legs a little bit closer. Just a little bit closer to his height. So here we are with Saber. Here we are with Lion Senki Blades. And then the next up we have the Swordsman of Darkness, Caliber. So yeah, I feel like these guys line up pretty well with each other. They look really good. And like I said, between the asymmetrical design and just the mix of what we got going on, I am really happy to be jumping onto the Saber line. Unfortunately, 2 so far have been P Bandai. Actually, all outside of Saber and Blades have been P Bandai, unfortunately. So yeah, but let's jump into the next batch of stuff to size up with, as I damn near knocked down my diorama by accident. This will be a fun one. Here is a Black Series Jackson. In case you just want to cross over your stuff or have a good time. Here's Black Series Jackson. Here is a Articulated Icons Ninja. You can never have enough ninjas, man. Here is a Marvel Legends John Walker cap. And let's move into the next batch because I'm running out of room. Let's move these guys out of the way. Next up, we have an SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Kuga. This is the Shinkocho Seiho. And as you can see, what I talked about earlier is that the blade stuff is actually bigger than even most of the renewal stuff. So even if I did like decayed complete form, right? You're gonna just pop him in here for an appearance. The Saber stuff is still larger than the renewal stuff. That's why I really do enjoy the fact that they're upscaling them just a little bit. Because even if we're not talking about the sword, we're talking about the top of the helmet. He is still taller than both of them, right? Also, just remind me I need to complete my my decayed review. I've actually been putting that off because I've been trying to find my final forms to use for photos. Here we are with a Lightning Collection White Ranger. Here we are with a Mezco Black Mask. Well, my Kit Bash Black Mask on a John Wick body. And as you can see, he's not that much smaller than Mezco, so that's pretty cool. Just for fun, here is a Mafex Spider-Man with a custom head sculpt, in case anyone does ask. I've done a review on it. And as you can see, he's almost bigger than, well, yeah, he's bigger than a Mafex. That's not something you see quite often. And last but not least, because he's a swordsman, I figured it's only cool. Stack him up against some Mythic Legions. If you really want to get some crazy Goblin, Barbarian mix, just, you know, magical swordsmen versus barbarians, right? This has been a super fun line, not only being upscaled, but just overall, the blend of both aesthetic and articulation have made me super duper happy. But it may not be for everyone. I'm doing this because I really enjoy Kamen Rider, and I like giving people a perspective that they don't know with other things. It's what I've done for years. But if at this point you still don't enjoy Kamen Rider, thank you for still watching the video. I do appreciate you taking the time to maybe try one out. I do appreciate these things. And if you are a Kamen Rider fan and you like this, thank you. And if you don't like it, still, thank you. So as always, guys, thank you so much for, you know, being around, watching, commenting, saying all the nice things. Please, be good, do good. Drink your water, guys. Later.